Hello, class. My name is Jean Chalas, and today we're going to talk about our story number 6. It's a story about a young officer who was in charge of a small vessel while being tested for how to react if a sailor fell overboard while he was in charge. They threw a big can to the sea to simulate the officer that had gone down and that was meant to be rescued. But the officer lacked experience, and the first thing to happen was that the can got pulled under the ship's propeller. The officer stopped and went backwards. However, a loud crash signaled that he had struck again the can. He then went forward and around in a circle and struck the can once more actually, and this time it was a head-on impact. Another sailor who was watching the officer um, asked him after being excused if he could possibly just let him swim if he ever went overboard because he wouldn't just trust the way he would handle the situation. Um, this story reminds me of the idea that sometimes you can make things worse by trying to fix them. Well, before that, it's worth mentioning that one must be humble enough to remember that when you're learning, you still don't know. You, we have to go step by step, and if you're trying to fix a situation alone, in which it happens because of your lack of knowledge, it is a better idea to just go on. Of course, if help is not available, you have no choice but to take care of yourself and to take care of the situation. Sometimes it is better to just have someone to ask, or even better, if someone is already offering that help, you should just take it. Not accepting help after repeatedly getting it wrong. Um, First would create a problem with the situation, and second, it would make people distrustful of your abilities because even if you have good intentions, they would prefer to not depend on you if they see you can make a mistake many times repeatedly. And related to a personal experience, who else has taught his wife to drive? Hot take, I know, but the story made me think of the experience of teaching her, and it was quite difficult. The main reason was that she thought she already knew, and she only had her license. She only got it recently, and she had some parking lot experience, but she still didn't know. And I know that, on the other hand, sometimes people, including me, may be too harsh with the people what they are still trying to learn, and that must be avoided. We must not put too much pressure, but it is also worth mentioning that the person trying to learn must be open to being taught, getting help, being willing to follow instructions, and otherwise, the just like in the story, the boat will always continue to crash. You have to let yourself be guided.